Now, did it happen for the best that he spent 27 years of his life? Certainly when he experienced it, it was painful, it was awful, but he was able to transform this. And to even in that situation to see the positive, and when we transformed it, those who know the history of what happened to him, when he started to look at the positive even there, at the opportunities in prison, when he changed his mindset, in other words, not the external circumstances, the external circumstances actually began to change. Another benefit finder. A pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. And you don't want to argue with him. I want to end by telling you a story, personal story, about my experiences throughout the years. Some biographical details, some things that I think most of you do not know. And I'm going to tell it to you first from the perspective of the fault finder. I have a mild case of ADD. It makes things very difficult for me. It's difficult for me to focus, my mind wanders often, and I really struggle with it constantly. When I was in high school, I really wanted to get into a lucrative program in mathematics. Didn't pass the entry exam. Was very disappointed. Didn't make it. Becoming a professional squash player was a dream for me since the age of 11. That's the thing that I thought about constantly. That was the most important thing for me at the time. I wanted to be a professional player. At the age of 20, I was about to complete my military service in Israel and got injured on the squash court and pulled a muscle in my back. And the doctor gave me an option of being operated on, which was a big risk, or giving up my professional career. I chose to give up my professional career, a dream that I had from a very young age. It was a real blow. I went to Cambridge after graduating from Harvard, and I enrolled in a PhD program. I was the only student in my PhD program to fail. I was thrown out of the program. It was humiliating. It seemed like a waste of a year because I didn't even get a master's degree. It was a real tough experience. At Harvard, as a graduate student, I took, with all the other students, my qualifying general exams. Out of all the graduate students who took that exam, I was the only one who failed it. Once again, a real humiliating experience. Walking around William James, and everyone knows the results, was tough. Not only that, I was given the provisional option of staying in the program. And they said to me, not only do you need to pass next year's exam when you take it with the next class, you have to pass it with flying colors or you're out. So while the rest of the students were working on their dissertations, writing, almost graduating, I had to go back to the basics and go over the whole material again. God, I am so unlucky. I want to share with you some biographical facts about my life. You know, I have a mild case of ADD, which is great. You know why? Because it actually forces me to only study things that I love, things that I care about, because anything else, my concentration just goes away. So it's like I have an internal mechanism that forces me to focus on the ultimate currency, on things that make me happy. and I only study things that I'm passionate about. It's wonderful. You know, when I was in high school, I really wanted to get into a certain program, in a very lucrative program, and I didn't get in. I failed the entrance exam, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise because it gave me so much more time to practice and play squash, and I ended up winning the national championships the following year, which I wouldn't have done had I been in that program. When I was at the University of Cambridge, I was in a PhD program, and I was the only one in my class, and as far as I know, the only one in years to be thrown out of the program. And it was actually a very important experience. You know, I got out of Harvard, I was arrogant, I thought I was holier than thou, and this was a real humbling experience that was especially important for me because the next year I went to work in Asia. And there, the worst thing that I could do was to be arrogant. So this humbling experience actually helped me a great deal in my future career, as well as helped me put things in perspective. When I came to Harvard, I was the only one in my program to fail the general qualifying exams. It was a hard blow, it was difficult, but it turned out to be a very good experience. You know why? Because I had to study the exact same material and these huge books and articles all over again and know them not just at the basic level. I had to know them extremely well because there was the condition that the professors gave for me staying in the program. And it was so good because I learned the material so well that I know social psychology today probably better than anyone I know. And that helps me a great deal. It helped me a great deal in putting together this course, 1504. And there is no place I would rather be than here. God, I am so lucky. Same reality, different interpretations. Just remember, much of what we experience, we co-create. See you next week.